Welcome to episode 18 of Should We Have Watched That?
Woo! I'm Soraya. Sorry. Hi. I'm excited.
And I'm Amanda.
And we watched a show called Sean Off Shotgun. It's a comedy show. It's our first proper stand-up of the season.
It is.
Which is a bit of a late one. And I know why we did this late. It's because Amanda's never sure about stand-up. Like, we went to Ruben K and you were like, oh, I don't know. I don't think he's going to make me laugh.
He did make me laugh.
Sean, Ruben K really, like, had you
I gave
cackling.
him 5 stars.
Yeah, you did. Now, Sean, we saw at
Cider Garden?
Beer and Cider. He had a lot of venues during the
at the Craft Beer and Cider Garden.
Yeah, in the Comedy Garden. So this is a strange little venue. It's down on the side of a pub. It's technically the beer garden.
It kind of gives alleyway.
It does give alleyway.
But made up.
Yeah, it's got a curtain. I'm going to start out with saying that I didn't particularly like the energy of the person that was looking at tickets.
Oh my god,
we have gone to so many shows and I have shown... I haven't used the Fringe World app just because I've had some issues with it, and so I've instead just shown people my ticket via my email. That's never been a problem before, and this person that was working at the venue...
Is tickets that have been provided to us by Perth Now as
well. So, like, there's nothing wrong with that form of delivery as a ticket.
Yeah.
And he wasn't scanning the tickets. All he needed to do was see that we were going to today's show. And he was just really rude about it. Like, I wasn't using the app. And I was like, that's really not... Why is it an issue?
And then he was mocking us for being fringe bingers.
Yeah, because he said, oh, no, I can show you in the app right now. And it's like, I'm okay with not doing it. We're actually fringe bingers. Like, we're okay. Like, we're just gonna go into the show. Thanks. And yeah, but then mocked us for it, and that just wasn't a very nice feeling. However, luckily, Sean was right behind them, right behind the man looking at the tickets, and he was like, "Oh, thanks so much for coming, guys! Like, come grab a seat."
He was lovely,
a sweetheart.
He was so personable.
So after having like a really kind of shitty experience walking into the venue, and then having him immediately interact with us, like he wasn't on stage yet, he was just in the midst of the seats,
also just not in the fringe spirit, thank you sir.
Whereas Sean was, we appreciated that.
So this is presented by @totalconway,
which is Sean's surname, Conway, not Total, but Conway is his surname.
This is a 45-minute show and it is $27.
So it's a much more on the cheaper side of Fringe, which it is nice to see a less expensive show.
It was a very quiet night, I'd say.
We went on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, so I'd say it's because of the night we went.
Which I don't mind going on a Tuesday night, and I like that. I still like that. Like, he's on almost every night.
Yeah.
Or actually, he is on every night.
Yeah.
Until the end of Fringe. And despite having a small crowd, because I think there was less than 20 people. Which I actually think that this show is worth more people seeing. Because something that I've already drafted in the written review is that laughter is infectious.
Yes.
And so it's so much easier to laugh when there's more people around. Like, you'll be in a group of, 20 people and someone makes a joke at a table and, like, the whole table, like, starts laughing.
Yeah.
But if you tell that joke to somebody that's just one-on-one, it's less likely to get a laugh.
Yeah, and then you don't feel like you're trying to give a pity laugh because there's only you in the crowd.
Yeah.
Which there wasn't, but it was quite a small crowd.
But sometimes, like, he obviously wanted to laugh, and, like, I would give him a laugh because I do think he had great stage presence.
Yeah, he had good timing as well.
Yeah, and I do feel like he deserved the laugh, and I probably would have laughed at that joke if there were more people. I don't know why, but it's just something that's part of the comedy. Performance not like the audience part of a comedy performance.
Look, I'm not a very vocal laugher when it comes to comedy shows.
I do feel like you gave it though.
I did. I'm more of a scoffer.
Yeah, you are.
I'm a scoffer. Do a bit of a breathy. So I don't think that was really feeding the energy.
No, and we went with 2 friends, and one of the friends we went with, she's a silent laugher, unfortunately. So she does a silent laugh and a clap. Yeah, that's what she does. And so he saw the clap maybe like once and was like, oh, a single clap. And I was like, no, but she's laughing like she is. But she just doesn't laugh with sound, apart from her singular clap.
Exactly.
Because I think it's also more of a scoff clap. A scoff laugh, rather, but silent.
Yeah. I think he did start off with very Perth like,
Base.
Perth Central jokes.
Yeah.
And then I think he realised that...
There was only about one Perthie in there.
Yeah.
Which, like, it's fringe season, so lots of
Yeah.
people are, you know, travelling up from country WA to see shows. And,
Yeah. And then he brought up some Southeast Asian jokes, and I think I was, like, the only one that was laughing.
Oh, yeah, the Singaporean thing, yeah.
And the durian joke.
Yeah.
And, like, it's like... At least you're getting somebody to laugh.
Yeah.
It's targeted at this point. It's not like a collective... until he brought up his own stories, and I think that's when it got better.
It did, yeah. I didn't love, he does go into, like, he spent a lot of time in America recently touring his show, and he brings up guns
Laws.
and how he does support guns in America, and as, like, comedians are always political.
Yeah.
Which, like, that's part of comedy, that, like, you're making fun of usually politics.
Yeah.
But usually, like, we were expecting, because how his previous jokes had gone down was that he would bring up an idea and then it would be a complete reversal, and he didn't really do that. There was that Trump thing, which I do think was funny.
Yeah.
But that didn't that didn't take away the fact that he, like, is in support of guns, and that is a very, like, it's a very divided topic. It's not...
I don't think we were his crowd for that.
No.
But
luckily he got into his personal stories.
Yeah, but also luckily I think he picked up on that, and then he kind of mocked himself for things like that. So I appreciated that.
He was aware.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of jokes that he was so proud of and found so funny himself that sometimes he only just got the punchline out, and then we were laughing with him because he was finding it so funny.
Yeah. It's nice that you get to not just laugh at them but also laugh with them.
Yeah.
Because those are kind of the fresh moments.
Yeah.
That you want to live in.
Those are the ones that...
feel like you are there with them.
Yeah, whereas if you'd watched that on,
it's not
like, a
recycled.
YouTube video... Yeah. If you'd watched them on a YouTube video, you'd been like, why is the crowd laughing with him? Like, that's just a poor performer that he hasn't... But, like, it is infectious, as I said before. Laughter's infectious. And
it's... Do you know what I've come to realise?
Yeah.
With these comedy gigs, obviously with Ruben as well, I think I've been really enjoying how personal it is and how much you get to learn about someone.
Yeah, they share a lot.
Yeah, and, you know, he speaks about his upbringing and stuff like that, and
his depression, and...
Yeah.
Like,
and
he was in a really rough place.
Because you're there to laugh, but also it's very emotional as well, and there's so much depth to it that I don't think I actually realised because I've been so scared of stand-up comedy, because I just get so embarrassed if nobody laughs.
And we were in a venue where it was possible that no one was going to laugh at that.
Yeah,
like,
I was a bit worried.
Not venue, but, like, audience where it was possible.
Because we specifically didn't take the front row because
You were nervous.
I was nervous.
And then the front row didn't get filled.
And then turns out we were the front row.
Yeah.
So I was like, sick, no worries, no pressure at all. But yeah, I don't know. I think I've been really enjoying delving into that, and I think it's given me a bit more of an insight to just the depth of stand-up comedians.
Which is good. I like that, because comedy's great.
Yeah. It's nice to laugh.
Yeah, it is.
I'll have a Google.
Laugh is infectious, did you know?
Yeah. Well, you should write that down.
Yeah. Put it in a review, maybe. So, like, we've talked already, like, just on the way home from the show, that we think that there were moments that could have perhaps, like, in his set, could have been reworked into earlier pieces. So, for instance, there's something that happens at the end of the show. We don't want to ruin the final gag, obviously.
And we don't know if it actually gets reused, to be honest.
Yeah, but there's a moment at the end that would, like, kind of makes us more amiable to his political views, perhaps, is a good way to phrase it.
Yeah, I think so.
That he's perhaps more fluid in his political beliefs, whereas because the gun control thing was so early on...
In your face, so quickly.
That we were like, oh, that's the kind of person we're watching. But it wasn't, because he then opened up more about, like, himself and you know, his past and just, like,
his upbringing,
his medical problems.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Like, it going straight for the guns is just I think it could have been put in later, and it would have had a better reception.
I agree. I completely agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of, because we, like, there's not much of a concept or character development kind of we've talked about.
Right, yeah.
That's kind of the journey of the set, right?
Yeah.
And I've already agreed with Sass on that I feel like he could have just put that bit earlier. So then we could have been more receptive to his earlier jokes.
Yeah.
And maybe just needed some fine-tuning of placement.
Yeah.
And order.
Which maybe he was trying out a new order. We will never know. But whether or not that was just a different... He just mixed up the show that night.
Yeah. Favourite moment... I think for me... I think it was when he was realising things in the moment, and that one time that he tried to sit down, and then he was like, no, not doing that.
Yeah, he was trying to be, like, up close and personal, like, sitting on the edge of the stage.
Yeah. He did ask us a few times, like, he asked me about my dating life.
Yeah. What apps you're on.
Yeah, what apps I'm on.
And he was like, oh, yeah, that's shit.
Yeah, and then he was like, you're getting much traction on that, and I just, like, looked at Sass.
And I was like, yep, she is.
I feel so uncomfortable when people ask me about that. So I just never know how to answer.
So I answered for her.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just not a good audience member for that. Also, I can never gauge. Like, I'm like, what is good?
Like, as long as you respond, I think it's fine.
That's true.
And
You're so right.
Yeah.
I was being an annoying audience.
But, at least you weren't being like, oh, I don't know. Like, that's not helpful. No. Like, responding... to their question and not responding to what they didn't ask, I think is, like, that's all you can really ask for.
Yeah. And then he pointed out the two boys behind us, and I was like, they literally look like they're in high school, sir.
Well, he found out they were 20.
Oh, yeah.
Which made me giggle.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
If you don't know, it's not worth it.
No. I thought it was really funny when he was he was making some jokes towards me and the person I was sitting next to. Yeah. And I thought that was really funny. That's very particular to whether or not, like, who you're sitting next to. And again,
I think it's funny because we chirped up for each other more than we did when we got asked personal questions, because we were like trying to throw each other under the bus. Yeah.
Which I think is a fun way to approach a comedy show if they're going to engage with you, which I like how much he engaged with us. Yeah. Because it was more of an intimate setting, he could. Yeah. And it was more of like a everybody is involved kind of thing. Yeah. He was a sweetheart. I think that's something that I, like, one of the... I think that's my favourite moment. I
just wish we saw that sooner.
Yeah, because he's a big guy, and you kind of think that, like, as in, like, he's very tall, and... Like, despite him having a smile on his face the entire time, it's like, we just don't know where you're at. Yeah. And then when we, like, by the end of the show, we were like, no, you're an absolute sweetheart. You're a doll. Who's funny and has these ridiculous stories. Yeah. And, like, I think that was my favourite moment. Just, like, realising how much of a little teddy bear this man is, despite having this, like, a wicked, dark sense of humour. Yeah. Yeah.
And I usually quite like dark humour as well.
Yeah, but I think the gun thing really threw both of us. Yeah. Which, again, that's, like, it's going into politics. It's meant to throw you a little bit anyway, because it's meant to make you think. That's part of the point of comedy, is to point out things, like, point out your views, but whilst making people laugh. But that just, it rubbed us the wrong way for a little bit, and it took us a while to get back on track. Yeah.
But we did get back on track.
We did. He did bring us back.
And his stories, I think, the best thing about his set, and not so much about him riffing, I think, was his latest stories about his hospital visit.
How to get through the ER quickly. My God. I also liked his stories about him being in America and what he said to the bartender in Milwaukee. He had some fun stories from his travels, and I think that's all you really need to make a good comedy set. Just tell a story well.
Yeah, exactly. And he did have good timing.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. And I think he deserves a bigger audience.
Yeah, I agree.
Because again, we would have laughed at, like, because we were laughing anyway, but we would have just laughed a lot more. Hi.
Also, the favourite moment, I would say as well, when he asked the audience if there were any reviewers in the audience.
And he didn't see our hands go up.
And we were a bit shy, because we were like, we looked at each other.
And then we slowly started.
And then he started his joke, and then he was like, but not you guys.
Yeah,
not related to you guys.
Because he was
at
like,
all.
I hate the media, I hate reviewers, and then he saw our hands were slowly going down. So I hate reviewers, apart from these two ladies in the front row. That was really funny. He still continues his joke. It had nothing to do with us.
Yeah, exactly.
It was just riffing the media, which is fun.
Yeah. And I actually really enjoyed at the end of it when he said to give your genuine opinion on the website, The Fringe World.
Yes.
And he was like, if you don't like it, write the most outrageous, annoying review. And I was like, I actually really appreciate you saying that.
Yeah.
And you're not just telling us to give you 5 stars.
Yeah.
And like, if
Not like an Uber driver.
Yeah, and I don't... Yeah, you're so right. And just not feeling pressured because he was like, because, you know, stand-up comedians, we also laugh at each other when we get shitty reviews.
Yeah.
So, like, I was like, I like you, sir.
Yeah.
I like that.
Like the energy.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
He's a sweetheart.
Yeah. So 3 words. You go.
I've got dark humour.
Yeah.
I did have some other ones and I've completely forgotten them. But I've got dark humour. You have a think?
I think I'd say personable.
Yep.
I want to say genuine.
Yep.
Like, he seemed like such a genuine bloke. And I had one, and it has escapade my mind.
Well, I have thought of one, which was unexpected.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of unexpected jokes in there. So unexpected dark humour for me. And I like...
Oh, and I want to say depth. Like, just understanding, because I think that it's actually, like, I don't know, it's just quite nice reflecting for myself to realise that stand-up is more than just laughs and gaining laughs, and it's the story behind the person as well.
Yeah.
So I would say personable, depth, and Sean, you're genuine. At least I got that vibe.
Genuine.
Yeah.
Turns out it's just genuine under a mask. Genuine under a mask. So yeah, mine's unexpected.
Dark humour.
Dark humour. I would and I'd almost say kind of like light, and I'd only say light because like I felt light leaving.
Yeah.
Especially when I'd gone in a little bit peeved because of the experience as we went in.
The ticket guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like he left me light, and I think that's all you can really like. So that's all you want after a comedy show. Like laughter, like lets stuff out. Like it's a release.
Yeah.
And I felt that release. It was good.
Yeah, 100%. So that kind of wraps up today's episode, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. In our next one, we shall be going to...
Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's ADHD.
A theatre performance.
Ayo. So we'll check in with you after we see that. Thank you so much. I've been Soraya.
And I'm Amanda. Bye!